everyone, it's Sanni. So this is a slightly scary video for me to make because for the whole entire time of the video I'm going to be makeup free. Well, apart from a little bit of mascara on my lower lashes, I just looked too makeup free without it. But this is because I'm going to do a video about my hyperpigmentation, and I obviously want you to see it properly, or otherwise, like, what's the point? But I'm also going to show you how I do an at-home acid peel in order to lighten, lighten all the hyperpigmentation. Now, I will state that I'm not an esthetician, I'm a makeup artist. So the things that I have learned come through magazines, internet, friends. So it's not, I am not an esthetician, I'm a makeup artist. So there's a difference in it. When you train to be a makeup artist, you don't learn all the kind of like how to do facials, how to do peels, how to do things like that. So I just want to state that up front. But what I'm going to show you is the products that I use that work for me, and that slowly work for me. And through the years I've tried other ones because after every summer I always have the same problem. So I'm not gonna start bashing brands that didn't work for me, because different things work for different people. But I will say that there are a lot of products that I use that really didn't do very much at all. But then for some other people, they have really worked very well. I'm just going to show you the things that work for me. So by hyperpigmentation, I mean the little darker kind of marks on your face that are not freckles, and it is not a tan. So my places are weird. So I get hyperpigmentation after the summer. So even if I use sunscreen, I always get hyperpigmentation. I get it here. So there's like a line here and a line here. And it looks like it's the frown lines, if you know what I mean, like when I do this. So I get one line here, one line here. Then I get a line under my cheek here and under my cheek here, which kind of makes sense because I always wear sunglasses in the summer anyway. So I figure that somehow it reflects. I don't know. Here. So I get a line here and a line here. But then I also get like dark little spots, more on this cheek. Not sure why. I have no idea why. Then I have dark little spots here, and one summer it was really bad. It looked like I had a really dark mustache on it. It was horrible. And then I have a few, actually these here are spots, so they're not pigmentation here. And then there's like a few individual, there's a little bit of pigmentation here, and then kind of like individual little spots. And the way I have been dealing with it before is just by using creams. This is the first year I've started using at-home acid peels, and thank you very much to my friend Gillian Hay, who recommended them. She said she used to get really bad pigmentation, and she said these have helped her enormously. So thank you so much for encouraging me to do it, because I was so afraid. I've never had a professional peel, and I was really afraid of at-home peels because I thought, my face would flake off pretty much. Luckily, the ones that I'm about to show you, they're super gentle, so I don't really notice even any flaking. I do exfoliate my skin regularly, so maybe if you didn't, you might, but I don't really notice any flaking at all. But first I'm going to talk you through the products that I use, and then I'll show you how I do the at-home acid peel. So firstly, the acid peel products that I use, number one is the 40% lactic acid peel, and this is the most mild lactic acid that you can get. I tried 55 and it was a little bit too tingly for me. I didn't like it, and I don't really notice much difference in their performance, so 40. And then also the Mandelic Salicylic acid peel. This is a combination of mandelic acid and salicylic acid. Now, these are from the website Makeup Artist Choice. I'll put a link below, and you can order them online, and you can order them in smaller bottles or big bottles, but I use so very little that I'm not going to run out of these anytime soon. And then also with it, before I do the peel, I use a pH prep solution. Now, you can just use witch hazel. I before I had this, I used to use just a witch hazel toner. So I used a witch hazel toner before and then a witch hazel after. This happens to be by the natural brand Melvita, but any kind of witch hazel type toner to neutralize and bring back your skin's neutral pH level. So these acids are obviously very acid as opposed to alkaline. I think they're about pH 2 or pH, I think the other one was 2.9, something like that. They're very acid, so you need to neutralize your skin to bring it back to its neutral pH balance. And I love the witch hazel water for that. Now you can use the prep solution afterwards as well. I don't like it afterwards. I don't actually even like the smell of this, so I just use it before. Now other products that I use in conjunction with it, straight after I've done the peel, I use a hydrating mask. Now the one I'm using right now is by Brennan. The range is called Super Facialist. You can get this in Boots in England. I'm not sure if you can get it outside of England yet. This is the Rose Hydrate Intense Moisture Mask. Any type of a very, very moisturizing mask afterwards is absolutely key. And then obviously during the day, when you're using any kind of acid peels during the day, you need to use a sunscreen. You need to use a sunscreen anyways, but the one I'm using is a 50 and it's by La Roche Posay and it's Anthelios XL, and this is Dry Touch Gel Cream. It's amazing. It doesn't leave a white cast. It sinks straight in. It's almost like you haven't even put on a sunscreen, so I love this. Now, also after a peel, I like to use another La Roche Posay product, and this is Cicaplast, and it is the Pro Recovery Skincare, and it is for flaky chapped skin and post-cosmetic peels. Now you can use these after heavy hardcore cosmetics peels where you're literally your skin, all of your skin is peeling off over several days. So, you know, it's amazing for that, but I like to use it. It just feels so comforting after. And I like to use on anybody else, any of my clients with very sensitized skin, because it feels like you're putting on something kind of incredibly nurturing, I guess, on your skin without it being greasy. So love the product. Before I show you how I do the acid peel, there's two products that I use at night. I was using them even before I started doing the peels, and the combination of these has already started fading my pigmentation, and I like these, so I alternate between these two. And the first one is Avene's D-Pigment, and this is a rich dark spot lightener, and you can get this in rich and you can get it in light. Due to the fact that I am, you know, using acids on my face, I use these creams only at night, so I prefer to use the rich one instead of the light one. And this is for dry skin, but because I use it at night, it doesn't really matter. I have normal to combination skin myself. And then also the Clinique Turnaround Overnight Radiance Moisturizer. This just kind of helps your cells turn around, and it does make my pores visibly smaller. I love it. I love it for that as well. So it kind of helps in a much more gentle way than a peel to keep your cell turnaround happening. So I alternate these. Initially when I started using the turnaround, I didn't like the way it fell on my skin. It was ever so slightly too, slightly irritating, so I would only use it every 2 to 3 nights. Now I use this every other night and this every other night. I haven't had any problems with Avene D-Pigment, although on their website they do say that, you know, if you get irritation, you have to ease your way into this. So, but I haven't had any kind of problems with it at all. So I'm gonna do the peel, and your most important tool is a timer. So I am going to set my timer for 5 minutes. Now I'm going to do the Mandelic and Salicylic acid peel, and you can do it between 3 to 5 minutes. I started off, the first time I ever did it, I started off with the 3 minutes, and then I've slowly worked up to 5 minutes. But do see how your skin reacts before you jump straight into the 5 minutes. But a timer is incredibly important, so you can't, you know, be doing something else and forget that it's on your face. You won't, because it does tingle. And I also would like to say that when you wash it off first, actually what happens is it tingles a little bit more. You feel like you know, it gets a little bit hotter and even more tingly. But after you wash your face and you put on your witch hazel, it just calms down, and after the mask, it's, you know, it feels completely normal afterwards. But you do need to be very, very careful with the time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a little cotton pad, and I'm going to take my pH prep solution, and I'm just going to use it exactly like a toner. I avoid all like my eye area like the plague. So I just put it exactly where I'm going to put the acid. I don't really do my whole face with the acid. I just do certain areas. And you have to let this dry completely before you put the acid on. And then to apply the acid, I'm actually using an artist brush. It says, the Makeup Artist Choice website says that you can use your fingers. I prefer to use a brush, and I always just get a little bit of the product on just like a small plate, and I use the brush and brush it on. I feel like I don't know, I mean, obviously because they say that you can use your fingers, I'm sure you can, but I don't feel like I want to put acid on my face with my fingers, go figure. So I have a tiny bit of the product on. I get my brush in it, and I brush it where I need it. Now this Mandelic Salicylic one is very runny, whereas the Lactic one is almost like a thick paste. So my main area is under my eyes and tops of my cheeks, top lip, especially this side for some reason, chin, and obviously the two frown lines. I'm going to put my timer on straight away and we'll get going. Now I can feel it tingling immediately. As soon as it goes on, I can feel the tingles start. So it's not a pleasant feeling at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fast forward this, and as soon as my timer goes, we're ready to take it off. So I'm probably just going to browse the internet for a little bit, but it is tingling. Now there's only 25 seconds left, so I'm going to go and wash my face with soap and water. I just use an organic, really, really natural soap. Nothing, no perfume, nothing on it, just a super natural soap. And warm water, not too hot because it's going to irritate your skin. My skin is tingling, definitely, but it's a bearable tingly. It's not, you know, it's nowhere near too much. I think it's okay. And yes, timer is off. So I'm going to go wash my face and I'll show you what I do afterwards. So now I just take my witch hazel. So mine was Melvita. I love this brand. It's very natural, but this is a beautiful toner even if you're not doing acid peels. So I just really go around my whole face and make sure I get it, like get my whole face very well neutralized, the pH level very well neutralized. And then the mask I use, as I said, was by Brennan, and I love her. She's an amazing facialist, and I've gone to see her in London, and she's just genius. But any kind of a moisturizing mask is important, so I'm just going to put the mask on. It smells like roses. It smells so gorgeous. And I'm going to go wash my hands now because they're kind of covered in the mask. And I'm going to let this mask sit on my face for about 10 minutes. This part I won't fast forward because 10 minutes is just way too long for you guys to look at me go da 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 da. Anyways, so I will be back after the mask is off. So I washed the mask off. Oh, my eyebrows are all over the place. And I'm going to do the Witch Hazel Toner one more time. I just kind of want to make sure, this time is more to really make sure I don't have any of the mask left on my face. But, so I tend to use this as a toner when I'm not using my SK2. Anyways, so just make sure all the mask is gone. My skin feels super amazing after the mask. I love it. Even if you're not going to do any kind of acid peels or anything like that, I really recommend the Brennan mask. I haven't tried her other products. I'm going to London tomorrow, yay. So I am going to get some more for sure. Then I am going to put on my sunscreen. So you have to remember to put on sunscreen after doing acid peel. So you constantly, if you're in a kind of a regimen of using them, I'm doing mine once a week right now. So I use sunscreen every single day. If I have a BB cream that I'm using or CC cream that's SPF 30 or above, then I don't do the extra step, but anything else I do. So this sinks in super fast. It's almost already kind of in. And so I tend to put on my sunscreen first, and then I'm going to put on my Cicaplast. But you could, you could do it whichever way. I don't think it necessarily matters that much. It's just what I'm used to doing. But this feels, it's like a gel cream. I don't know how well you can see that. So it's so ultra comforting without it being too greasy, because during the day I don't want to put on anything kind of too greasy. This is great as a makeup base as well. Like, makeup goes on beautifully on top of this. I don't think I'm going to wear any makeup today. This is an errand kind of day. I'm going out to get presents. I am going to yoga, doing grocery shopping, all of that. Not working today, so I'm probably just going to leave it as is. So I made it through a whole video without any makeup. This is monumental for me. So I do this once a week, but I use the face creams every single night. I alternate between the D-Pigment and the turnaround cream. So with this, I've been able to fade my pigmentation so much. It was a lot worse during the summer, and I don't actually have a picture of myself kind of like at the height of it. Like end of July probably would have been the worst of it. So, well, yeah, in a month and a half, I've been able to fade them quite considerably. So I feel like another month and they'll almost be gone. And then I've got another winter of no pigmentation, and then it comes again in the summer. There's just nothing I can do about it. Even with sunscreen, the pigmentation just seeps through. It's horrible. I think it's all those childhood years of not wearing sunscreen that like have finally caught up with me. But thank you so much for watching. I would love to know what you guys do for getting rid of pigmentation. I'm always on the lookout for new tips and tricks. And if any of you have used any of the products that I mentioned, please let me know how they work for you, because I would love to know. And yeah, if you like the video, thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!